When people are young, many experiences feel exciting simply because they are new. Conversations are fascinating, opportunities appear extraordinary, and the world seems full of discoveries waiting to be explored. A compliment from someone respected can brighten an entire day. A dramatic story can capture attention immediately. Even small achievements may feel significant because they represent progress and possibility. At this stage of life, the mind is still collecting reference points for understanding the world. Everything feels vivid because it is being experienced for the first time. But as individuals move through years of experience, something subtle begins to change. The emotional response to novelty gradually becomes more selective. Situations that once felt impressive may begin to appear familiar. Stories that once seemed extraordinary may resemble patterns already seen before. The mind starts recognizing repetition in human behavior. Instead of reacting with immediate excitement, it pauses to evaluate what is actually new or meaningful about the situation. This shift is not necessarily cynicism. It is often the result of accumulated experience. Each year adds more examples to a person's internal library of memories. Conversations, achievements, conflicts, and social interactions begin to follow recognizable structures. When the brain detects familiar patterns, it reduces emotional intensity because the event no longer feels unpredictable. This neurological process explains why people sometimes become harder to impress as they grow older. Their expectations evolve alongside their experiences. What once seemed remarkable may now appear ordinary. Another important factor is perspective. Younger individuals often interpret events in isolation. A single impressive moment can shape their perception of someone or something. But people with more life experience tend to evaluate situations across longer timelines. They ask different questions. Instead of asking whether something appears impressive now, they wonder whether it will remain meaningful over time. A person who speaks confidently today may still need to demonstrate consistency tomorrow. A bold promise may sound inspiring in the moment, but experienced individuals know that promises are easy to make and difficult to sustain. This broader perspective naturally raises the threshold for what feels genuinely impressive. Words alone become less persuasive. Instead, people begin valuing patterns of behavior that persist across time. Experience also changes how individuals interpret success. Early in life, success often appears dramatic and visible. Recognition, status, or financial achievement may seem like powerful indicators of accomplishment, but over time, people begin seeing how complex success truly is. They observe individuals who appear successful yet feel dissatisfied internally. They meet others who live quietly but possess deep wisdom and fulfillment. This exposure gradually reshapes their understanding of what deserves admiration. Flashy displays of achievement lose some of their impact because they no longer represent the full story. Depth becomes more impressive than visibility. Another transformation occurs in how people evaluate communication. Younger individuals may feel impressed by confidence, strong opinions, or persuasive language, but with experience, people begin distinguishing between confidence and understanding. Someone can speak confidently about many topics without actually possessing deep knowledge. This realization makes experienced individuals more attentive to substance rather than style. They listen carefully to what someone says rather than how dramatically it is expressed. As a result, dramatic language alone rarely creates a lasting impression. Authentic insight carries far more weight. Emotional maturity also plays a role. As individuals learn to regulate their reactions more effectively, they become less responsive to emotional exaggeration. Situations that once triggered excitement or outrage may now appear less significant. The mind becomes calmer and more deliberate in its responses. This emotional stability reduces the intensity of immediate reactions, making it appear as though the person is difficult to impress. In reality, they are simply processing experiences with greater balance. They are not easily carried away by surface-level excitement because they have learned that initial impressions can sometimes be misleading. This cautious evaluation protects them from forming conclusions too quickly. Another subtle factor involves authenticity. As people grow older, they often become more sensitive to whether something feels genuine or performative. Years of observing human behavior reveal how frequently people exaggerate or present idealized versions of themselves. This awareness makes experienced individuals less responsive to superficial displays meant to impress others. Instead, they become attentive to sincerity. When something truly authentic appears, it stands out more clearly against the background of performance. Ironically, this means that experienced individuals are still capable of being deeply impressed, but only by things that demonstrate depth, consistency, and genuine intention. The threshold is higher, but the appreciation is also more meaningful. What once impressed them quickly may now pass unnoticed, while something subtle and sincere may leave a lasting impact. As people continue accumulating life experience, their relationship with admiration becomes more refined. They begin noticing that many impressive moments in life are quiet rather than dramatic. A person who consistently treats others with kindness may become more admirable than someone who delivers a powerful speech. A colleague who quietly fulfills responsibilities every day may earn deeper respect than someone who occasionally performs a spectacular achievement. These realizations gradually reshape how experienced individuals evaluate the world around them. Instead of reacting to surface-level signals of success or charisma, they begin observing patterns that reveal character. Character is far more difficult to perform convincingly than confidence. It emerges slowly through repeated choices and behaviors. Because of this, experienced individuals tend to reserve admiration until they have seen enough evidence to form a reliable judgment. This patience can make them appear emotionally reserved. In social situations where others react enthusiastically to bold statements or exciting promises, they may remain calm and observant. They are not unimpressed because they lack curiosity. They are simply waiting to see whether the initial impression will be supported by consistent action. Another change occurs in how individuals interpret novelty itself. Early in life, novelty often feels inherently valuable. A new idea, new place, or new opportunity can create excitement simply because it is unfamiliar. But over time, people realize that novelty alone does not guarantee meaning. Some experiences are new but shallow. Others are familiar, yet deeply meaningful. This recognition encourages individuals to look beyond novelty when evaluating what truly deserves attention. They begin searching for depth, complexity, and long-term value rather than temporary excitement. This shift can also influence social relationships. When someone becomes harder to impress, they may become more selective about the people they admire. Instead of forming quick impressions based on charisma or status, they prefer to observe how someone behaves across different circumstances. How do they treat people who cannot offer them advantage? How do they respond when things go wrong? Do their actions align with their values when no one is watching? These questions reveal far more about a person's character than any single moment of success. The more experience individuals accumulate, the more they recognize the importance of these deeper indicators. Another interesting transformation occurs in how experienced individuals perceive praise. When admiration becomes harder to earn, it also becomes more sincere. Compliments are no longer given lightly. They reflect genuine respect rather than social politeness. Because of this, praise from someone who has become difficult to impress often carries significant meaning. It signals that something truly stood out within their broader perspective. This dynamic explains why certain individuals seem reserved with their admiration, but deeply sincere when they express it. Their approval has been filtered through years of observation and reflection. Over time, this refined perception creates a calmer emotional landscape. The constant search for excitement gradually fades. Instead, people begin appreciating quieter forms of satisfaction. They notice the beauty of consistent effort, thoughtful conversation, and genuine kindness. These experiences may not appear dramatic, but they carry a deeper sense of authenticity. Life becomes less about chasing impressive moments and more about recognizing meaningful ones. In this sense, becoming harder to impress is not a loss of wonder. It is a transformation of wonder. Instead of reacting quickly to surface-level excitement, individuals learn to appreciate depth, integrity, and sincerity. Their admiration becomes slower but more profound. When something truly remarkable appears, it stands out clearly against a background of ordinary experiences. The mind recognizes it immediately, not because it is loud or dramatic, but because it is rare and genuine. This quiet shift reflects the evolution of perspective that comes with time. What once impressed us quickly may eventually feel ordinary, but the capacity to recognize genuine depth remains. In fact, it often becomes stronger. Experience filters out illusions and highlights what truly deserves admiration. And in that process, the meaning of being impressed transforms from momentary excitement into lasting respect.